Okay, so one of the toughest things for students once they know what a parabola is and once they learn what the focus and directrix is writing the equation and working backwards when you're given the focus and directrix and you have to all of a sudden come up with this equation. So the background knowledge here is that you should know that a parabola, if it's a vertical parabola, which means up or down, the equation is in the form y equals some dilation times x minus h squared plus k, where h and k is the vertex, okay? Or if your parabola is going left to right, if it's a sideways, this whole thing sort of gets reversed. Y minus k squared plus h. Same thing, your h and k is still your vertex, it's just they've moved to a different position in the equation. Now, the other thing I'm going to write down before we do an example is the dilation A. This dilation A is probably what's trickiest for most people because you're supposed to relate this to something called a focal distance. So I'm going to let A, you know it, most of you know it as a dilation. But when you're relating it to a focus and directrix, A is also equal to 1 over 4P. And that P is going to be the focal distance. Now, if you don't know what a focal distance is, I'll explain that momentarily, but all of this is sort of the background knowledge. So let's do an example now. So let's say that you've been told to write the equation, and they're going to tell us that the vertex is at, I don't know, how about 1, 3, and the directrix is at, where do I want the directrix to be? And actually, I'm a liar. I don't want to give you the vertex. I'm going to give you the focus. Okay, so the focus is at 1, 3, and we're going to let the directrix be at, let's say, y equals 0. Okay. So if you have a problem like this, then I highly recommend that you draw it first before you begin. So I would make myself a little grid, and let's put the focus at 1, 3, and then let's put the directrix at y equals 0. Now y equals 0, guys, that is the axis, okay? My y value is 0. So it's not just a point, it's this entire line. So I'm going to color the whole line. So here's my directrix, here's my focus. Okay, now what you should know is that the vertex is located exactly between these two things, okay? So if it's right in between them, then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to think, okay, right in between a 0 and a 3, well, that is how high up? That's 1.5 up, okay? So the vertex, just by looking at my picture, the vertex is halfway between, so it's over 1 and up 1.5. Now, if you don't like 1.5, you can use 3 over 2, or you can use 1.5. There's so many ways to do it, but I'm going to write it as 1 comma 3 halves, just to leave it as an improper fraction, because I like it that way. But that's our vertex. Now that you have the vertex, we have everything we need, because the vertex is the h and the k. We also know that just by the look of things, the focus has to be on the inside of the parabola, so I know that this is a parabola that goes up and down, and if it goes up and down, let me scroll back up, I know it's got to be this equation. So that's my parent function, guys. I'm going to recopy it right here. Y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Now I'm going to plug in my vertex. Okay, there's my h and my k, so y equals a times x minus 1 squared plus 3 halves. So this is looking really, really, really good. The only thing that I don't know is this a. So like, what is a? Okay, well, I wrote a formula up here earlier. There it is. A is equal to 1 over 4p, and p is the focal distance, okay? So what I'm going to do is a little side math where I write A is equal to 1 over 4p, and in the place of p, I need to plug in that distance. Well, a focal distance is just how far are you from the vertex to the focus. So you can look at your picture, you can look at your numbers, but I need a distance for how far away that is. So I believe that's 1.5 away. So if my P is 1.5 or 3 halves, right? That's how far away those are. Then what I'm going to do is plug that in right there and do a little algebra. So 1 over 4 times 3 halves. And when I simplify that, let's see, 4 times 3 halves, guys. 4 times 3 halves, 4 times 3 halves. Isn't that a 6? So the A value just turned into 1 over 6. And then all you have to do from there is take it and plug it back in. And that is how you finish up an equation. So if you use this logic, you can talk yourself through any problem. If you sketch it, number 1, find the vertex, decide which parent function to use, then find your P, which leads you to find your A. So it's the same 4 steps every single time, it's just practicing to get it right. So let me know if you come across a trickier one that you would like help with. Thank you.